The law said 13-year-old Lucas had to hang. But his grandfather, a man who lived by his own law of gunpowder and blood, had other plans. Hello, it's Red Recap speaking. Today, I will be giving a rundown of the movie Rust, which was released in 2024. Please note that there will be spoilers in my review. Without further ado, let's dive into the film. The story kicks off in 1882 Wyoming. You've got this teenager, Lucas, who's taking care of his little brother Jacob, all on his own. Their mom died from an illness and their dad took his own life, so they're just trying to survive on the family farm. Things get tough when they run out of food. To make matters worse, a wolf is hanging around, but they have no bullets to deal with it. Desperate, they go to town and sell their horses for a measly $30. While there, Lucas gets into a fight defending Jacob from some bullies and ends up hurting one of them. The bully's dad, Gantry, finds Lucas and forces him to work to pay off the debt. The next morning, Lucas tries to shoot the wolf but accidentally kills Gantry instead. He's immediately arrested and sentenced to hang for murder. His grandma visits but can't do anything to help, and she tells him Jacob is being sent to a boy's home. Meanwhile, a lawman in another town, Deputy Woodhelm, is going through his own personal hell. His young son is slowly dying, and his wife accuses him of emotionally checking out, leaving him heartbroken. Back on the job, he and his partner get into a huge shootout with 5 outlaws who had murdered a family. All the outlaws are killed, but in the aftermath, Woodhelm finds a kidnapped child they were holding. While Lucas is locked up, his little brother Jacob starts sleeping at the jail just to be close to him. A kind shopkeeper named Bill feels awful for Lucas and sneaks him out to safety, bummed that he can't take the kid in himself. When a deputy starts mocking Lucas, Bill totally sticks up for him, reminding everyone he's just a boy. Later that night, this mysterious guy, Harland, breaks into the sheriff's office. Lucas, thinking he's in danger, yells for help. Harland just knocks him out cold and grabs a rifle. Bill almost shoots Harland but lowers his gun when he realizes he knows him. Harland gives a chilling warning, basically saying that anyone who comes after him will shake hands with the devil himself. The next day, Lucas demands to know what's going on, but Harland is cagey and just insists the boy follow him. Meanwhile, news spreads like wildfire that Harland killed the sheriff and 2 deputies. A posse is formed to hunt down both Harland and Lucas. Back in the other town, a drunk Deputy Woodhelm nearly kills a man for insulting him. His partner, Drum, stops him just in time. Woodhelm has a breakdown, confessing that he doesn't believe in God anymore, haunted by his son's suffering and his own past mistakes. Out on the road, Lucas finally snaps and pulls a gun on Harland, demanding the truth. Harland drops a bombshell. He's Lucas's grandfather, his mother's father. He explains the rifle he took belonged to Lucas's great-grandfather and gives him a dark piece of advice. If you're going to kill someone, make sure you have a round in the chamber. When Lucas calls him a murderer, Harland fires back. That makes 2 of us. So Lucas and Harland are on the run. They set up camp, carefully avoiding a dangerous local tribe, and manage to catch a rabbit for dinner. Meanwhile, Deputy Wood gets a new mission from a guy named Lawrence Stillwell. Stillwell lays it all out. Harland didn't just break Lucas out of jail, he killed 3 men doing it. He wants Wood to bring Harland to justice and insists he take another man, Dick Miller, as backup. He also gives Wood a backhanded compliment, saying that while his methods are unconventional, they seem to work. The next morning, Lucas tries to make a run for it, but Harland catches him easily. Fed up with the kids complaining, Harland gives him a serious reality check. He graphically describes the horror of a public hanging, explaining how it can be a slow, agonizing death if your neck doesn't break instantly. He makes it crystal clear that this is what he saved Lucas from. As they travel, Harland pulls a clever but brutal move. He deliberately spooks Lucas's weak horse until it collapses and dies, creating a false trail for anyone following them. He tells Lucas they're meeting a friend who will help them escape to Mexico, where they'll be safe. Lucas protests, saying he won't leave his brother behind, but Harland insists it's their only shot. Elsewhere, we meet a bounty hunter named Fenton Preacher Lang. After turning in one outlaw, he gets a telegram with his next big payday, a whopping $1,000 bounty for Harland Rust. At the same time, Wood's posse is growing. He, Drum, and Miller hire 2 more guys, paying them $200 each to help hunt down Harland and Lucas. Harland and Lucas stumble upon a remote cabin and are welcomed in by 2 guys who claim to be trappers. But things feel off, and sure enough, Lucas spots a wanted poster with his and Harland's faces on it. These guys are bounty hunters. One of them pulls a gun on Lucas, but Harland is lightning fast and gets a knife to the guy's throat. When the second bounty hunter goes for his gun, Harlan shoots him down and then kills the first one. Understandably, Lucas is totally freaked out and tells Harlan he's had enough. He just wants to go home to his brother. They have to flee, worried the gunshots will attract unwanted attention. Back on the trail, Wood and his posse visit Lucas's grandma, Evelyn. Wood, being a sharp guy, connects the dots and realizes Harlan is her brother and Lucas's grandfather. He suspects she's the one who tipped Harlan off, but she won't admit to a thing and tells him to leave. Meanwhile, Harlan and Lucas arrive in a small town in Colorado. Lucas tries to mail a letter, but Harlan stops him, warning that it could give away their location. Lucas gets frustrated with Harlan's constant control, but Harlan insists he's just trying to keep him alive. While Harlan is buying food, Lucas wanders into a crowd and witnesses a public hanging. It's just as horrifying and slow as Harlan described, and the sight leaves him shaken. He stumbles away and finds Harlan waiting for him with a dog he's just bought. As they leave town together, we see that both Preacher Lang and Wood's posse are still relentlessly tracking them. Later, sitting around a campfire, they finally have a heart-to-heart. Lucas talks about caring for his dying mother when he was just 10 and how Jacob was too young to remember her. He then asks Harlan why he's always so angry. Harlan opens up, explaining how a bank in Chicago ruined him, taking everything he had and sending him down a dark path of robbery and isolation. After that heavy conversation, Harlan admits he never got to make peace with his daughter before she died. Lucas has a dark realization of his own. He thinks his great-grandfather's rifle is cursed. It's been a part of so much death, from gantry all the way back to his own father's suicide. Just then, Lucas gets really sick. Harlan takes him to an old friend's house, hoping for help, but gets a nasty surprise. The friend was hanged 5 years ago for a crime he and Harlan committed together ages ago. The man's angry widow tells them to get lost. In a sweet but sad moment, Lucas gives the dog he just got to the man's young son before they're forced to leave. Meanwhile, in another town, Deputy Wood is looking for a long-range rifle. Instead of a weapon, the store owner hands him a telegram. It's the worst possible news. His son has passed away. Wood just takes it in, completely silent and broken. Back with our duo, a feverish Lucas finally collapses in New Mexico. Harlan manages to get help from a wagon company that takes them in. As Lucas fights the illness, he's delirious and keeps calling out for his mother. That night, Wood and his posse are camped out. His partner, Drum, tries to get him to eat, but Wood refuses. He's totally lost in his grief, explaining that when he saw another outlaw hang, he realized there was nothing after death, just emptiness. He's terrified that his son endured so much suffering for nothing. Amazingly, Lucas wakes up the next morning feeling completely better after dreaming of his mother. Harlan tells him he was out cold for a day and a half. But their troubles aren't over. The bounty hunter, Preacher Lang, shows up at the widow's house. He charms her into giving up information about where they were headed. Later, Harlan and Lucas are ambushed. Harlan manages to wound one attacker, but gets shot himself. They escape but lose their horses and all their supplies in the process. That night, wounded and on foot, Harlan shares even more of his tragic past. He once had a wife and 2 kids. His son died from the harsh farm work, and his wife took her own life after they lost everything. This gets Lucas to open up too, admitting he feels a kind of survivor's guilt, wondering why his mom died and he lived. Preacher, the bounty hunter, finds the spot where those 2 other bounty hunters failed to capture Harlan. When the younger of the 2 tries to pull a gun, Preacher kills him instantly. The older one, now scared out of his mind, tells Preacher everything. Harlan and Lucas are about a half day ahead, heading for Dawes Pass. Meanwhile, a badly weakened Harlan rests while Lucas goes to hunt a rabbit. He's suddenly confronted by a group of Kiowa Indians. Thinking on his feet, Lucas makes a desperate trade, the family rifle for a horse. The Kiowa think he's a strange boy for giving up a good rifle, but they agree and let him go. Turns out, Harlan was watching from a distance the whole time, gun at the ready, and breathes a sigh of relief when he sees Lucas is safe. They ride to a town called Moscow, New Mexico. At a bar, Lucas leaves Harlan to find a doctor, but spots the horses of the men who had just killed the Kiowa he traded with. Inside, he hears these men plotting to turn Harlan in for the bounty. Before they can act, Deputy Wood walks in. He's already found and captured Lucas and is there to arrest Harlan. But just when you think it can't get any crazier, Preacher arrives and shoots one of Wood's men in the back, kicking off a massive shootout. When the dust settles, the new group of bounty hunters are all dead. Wood's partner, Drum, is wounded, and Harlan has been shot yet again. As Harland and Lucas make a break for it, Wood sends another deputy after them, but Preacher just shoots the man right off his horse. Preacher chases Harland and Lucas, who are now on foot. He catches up and shoots Harland right in the chest, then grabs Lucas. Wood arrives and tells Preacher to let the boy go, but Preacher has completely lost it. Ranting about how Lucas has sinned, he shoots Wood in the shoulder. Just as Preacher is about to kill Lucas, Harland, despite being mortally wounded, manages to shoot Preacher in the back. Bleeding out, Preacher crawls toward a cross he carries, but Harland puts an end to it with a final bullet to the head. Dying, Harland offers Wood a deal. He'll surrender peacefully if Wood lets Lucas escape. Wood is hesitant, but Harland gets furious, questioning what kind of justice hangs a child for an accident. He then asks Wood if he has a son, and the question hits Wood like a punch to the gut. Harland begs him to give Lucas a second chance. He then turns to Lucas and gives him final instructions. Find a man named Anelmo who will take him to Mexico. Grandma Evelyn has arranged everything. He tells the boy not to cry for him. Moved by Harland's sacrifice and thinking of his own lost son, Wood agrees. He lets Lucas go. When the big boss, Stillwell, finally arrives, Wood lies, saying Lucas died in a fall. We then see Lucas find Anelmo, introducing himself as Lucas Rust, taking his grandfather's name. Stillwell rides off with Harland in chains. Wood decides to ride alone, and he and Harland share one last silent look before going their separate ways. When Wood gets home, he finds his son's room empty. His wife has left, unable to deal with his emotional distance and their shared grief. In the end, Harland is taken to the gallows that were originally built for Lucas. He actually dies from his gunshot wounds before they can even tighten the noose, but Stillwell coldly orders them to kill him twice, and they hang his lifeless body anyway. But Harland's plan worked. Lucas safely reunites with his grandma Evelyn, who helps set up the whole escape, knowing it would likely cost her brother his life. And in the final beautiful moment, Lucas is finally reunited with his little brother Jacob, who runs to give him a hug. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to watch more videos like this. Thanks, and see you again soon. Take care.